Hey everybody, my name's Ed K. So I've got some trays to show to you today, okay? So I got a nice stack in the mail here recently. Whoop. Okay, so first I've got Southern Bastards #4, Jason Aaron and Jason Latour. Okay, I think this might be the last volume for a while. I guess it's sort of on a hiatus. I'm not too sure everything that was going on. I think Jason Latour had some personal issues or something like that. And then I think a few months ago too, he got kind of me too. I think a few people called him out as somebody who had kind of harassed somebody at either a convention or something like that, or made some unwanted advances. Let's say that. So I don't think we're gonna have a new volume anytime soon. So I've got Low Volume 2 and Volume 3. That's Rick Remender and Greg Ticini. I guess that's how you say his name. Now, I had actually bought the first 6 issues in singles not too long after it came out, and I thought it was pretty good. It's basically the story of this kind of underwater society. Something happens to this dad and his family, and the family kind of breaks up, and the society is kind of almost 1984 Brave New World-ish, or kind of totalitarian government, and everybody lives under the sea. The mom basically has this vision, or this hope of actually leading the people, or at least leading her family out of the sea and then back onto the land or whatever. So it's pretty interesting. I think I want to say I read somewhere that the subtext or part of the themes are about depression and hope and overcoming um, the darkness and the darkness in your soul type of thing. I want to say I read that like a part of the inspiration for this story had to do with Rick Remender dealing with his own issues with depression and whatnot. So pretty good, pretty good. Um, Daredevil, the Mark Waid, Pablo Rivero Daredevil #1, Volume 1, and Volume 2. Let's take this out of here so we have a little less glare. There's Volume 2, and here's Volume 1. I wasn't reading these regularly when they were coming out. I kind of read sporadic issues, and I thought they were pretty good. They're really interesting because this was kind of getting away from the kind of dark and gritty Frank Miller inspired Daredevil that we've had for the last few decades, and kind of bringing back a little bit of levity and bringing back a little lightheartedness they had in the 60s and 70s, the whole swashbuckling adventurer hero Daredevil. But it still makes sense in that it doesn't kind of dispel or ignore all the other stuff that came before it. And I also really like some of the art and layouts that Pablo Rivera did in some of the some of the issues, or some of the stuff that I've seen so far. Just really interesting layouts, and he does a lot with the design and just playing around with the page and things like that. The comic book art is very comic book art, and okay, so yeah. And then The Invisibles. This is Grant Morrison and a handful of different other artists and things like that. It's a little bit, I don't know if I want to say it's ahead of its time. It's kind of a product of its time, and it's kind of ahead of its time at the same time. But it's very much, I don't want to say like a hipster comic or whatever, but the whole point of it is, the joke of it is, it's kind of as if, I know one place he described it as every conspiracy theory you've ever heard is true, and it's kind of playing around with the idea of interdimensional travel back and forth and time travel and parallel worlds, and the idea of having like these James Bondish secret agents that kind of act and look and behave almost like pop stars. Uh, you know, I know Grant Morrison has said things where supposedly he's like done acid and and then came up with stories. I believe it and I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Oh, but here we go. Stuff like this makes you want to believe it, but believe it or not, the stuff that I've read is actually a little bit too, even though it's way out, it's a little bit too coherent, if that makes any sense. But then again, that might be the difference between Grant Morrison being a Generation X guy, punk rock guy, new wave guy doing acid versus the underground people from the 60s and 70s who did acid, right? I mean, Freak Brothers, R. Crumb, what have you there. So, who else am I thinking of? Keith Giffen, is that his name? Keith Griffin? The guy, you've seen his art before. I think he also did art for like a Grateful Dead album or whatnot. So anyway, just to show you some of the art in some of these. See, like I said, I really like this kind of playing around with the design and whatnot that Pablo has done. Just really, really good stuff here. Here we go. So I like that. Just fun stuff here. Here's an interesting thing he's doing. He's done with Daredevil's radar sense. All right. Let's see here. Here's some Greg Torchini art. This is very nice, very lovely figure work, very nice colors too. What else we got going on there? Ooh, that's a little gross. Excuse me. One thing about Greg's art is sometimes the storytelling it's a little clunky here and there. Sometimes it's a little bit cluttered. Sometimes it's a little bit clunky. Sometimes it's but a lot of times it's just spot on. So just very nice looking stuff here. All right, and here's some Jason Latour. Alrighty, I've been really busy, so I don't know when I'll get a chance to read these things or when I'll be able to do actual reviews. I actually really like the storytelling here. Just really straightforward stuff. But hopefully, I think the holidays are really coming up in a couple weeks. So I won't have this weird schedule where I'm working almost sun up to sundown, which is really weird when you're working from home. But hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to catch up on funny book reading, and I might be able to do some more reviews. Okay, so then that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And everybody have a good day.